You lie back, letting the weight of the day slowly loosen its grip. The room is still, the air gentle, and you become aware of your own body in a new way. You think of yourself as one being, one single self contained within skin. But tonight, you will drift into a deeper truth. You are not alone. You are a forest within, a landscape of life invisible to your eyes, yet essential to your existence. Imagine closing your eyes and walking inward, not into your thoughts, but into the body itself. At first, you expect emptiness, the silent machinery of cells, the orderly anatomy you have seen in books. But what you encounter instead is alive, abundant, teeming. You step softly into a hidden ecosystem, where trillions of microbes live in harmony with you, bacteria, fungi, archaea, and viruses, together forming the community we call the microbiome. It is not chaos. It is not invasion. It is a forest, balanced and intricate, woven through every surface of your body. In your gut, they are rivers of diversity, flowing through valleys of folds and ridges. On your skin, they are meadows and mosses, clinging to the contours of warmth and shadow. In your mouth, they are orchards of invisible fruit, feeding on sugars and sharing their harvest with you. You are not a fortress keeping them out. You are their home. Pause for a moment and breathe deeply. As air enters your lungs, microbes on your tongue and throat stir. As food digests in your stomach, whole colonies awaken, breaking down fibers you cannot process alone, releasing molecules that nourish you. They do not ask for permission. They simply live, and in living, they give. Without them, your body would falter. With them, you thrive. The numbers are astonishing. Trillions of microbes live within you, more than the stars you can see in the sky on the clearest night. For every human cell, there is roughly one microbial companion. You are as much them as you are yourself. Together, they weigh as much as your brain, enough to be considered an organ in their own right. And though they are invisible, their influence is everywhere. Think of a forest floor. Roots twist, leaves fall, insects scurry, fungi weave threads through soil. Each part is small, but together they sustain the whole forest. This is how your microbiome works. Tiny lives cooperating to create balance, stability, and nourishment. Remove one part, and the system falters. Support it, and it flourishes. You can imagine yourself walking deeper into this inner forest. The path is not threatening. It is soft, covered in moss, glowing with faint light. Around you are colonies of microbes, like communities of trees. Some are ancient oaks, the bacteria that have lived in humans for millions of years. Some are quick-growing grasses, newcomers that flourish with each meal you eat. Some are shy, hidden in crevices, waiting for balance to call them forth. The diversity is immense, more species than you could ever count. And yet, despite their differences, they form a single whole, you. You might ask, who are these companions? They are not strangers. They are your oldest allies. From the moment you were born, when you passed through your mother's body and met your first microbes, they began to colonize you. On your skin, in your mouth, in your gut, they found a home, and in return, they helped you digest, helped you grow, helped train your immune system to tell friend from foe. They are your inheritance, your invisible kin, your forest within. Breathe again and feel comforted by this knowledge. You are never alone. Even in stillness, even in silence, trillions of lives hum within you, each one carrying out its work. They do not compete with you. They complete you. You are their host, their protector, their landscape. And they are your farmers, your guardians, your alchemists. When you eat, they transform what you cannot. Fibers become short-chain fatty acids, molecules that nourish the lining of your gut, calm inflammation, and feed your cells. When invaders arrive, microbes sound alarms, calling your immune system into action. When your brain rests, they send chemical messengers that influence mood, sleep, and thought. You are not the conductor of this orchestra, but you are its symphony. Now picture the forest at dusk. The light dims, but life does not stop. Fireflies glow, owls stir, the hidden creatures of night awaken. So too, in your microbiome, life continues around the clock. While you sleep, microbes repair, digest, recycle, and restore. They are your midnight workers, unseen yet essential, preparing your body for morning. There is peace in this thought. The complexity of your body is not something you must control alone. The hidden organ within you is at work, always balancing, always adjusting, always tending to the forest. You can rest because it does not. Let the image grow softer now. You see the forest not as millions of separate lives, but as one whole, like a painting where brushstrokes vanish into harmony. You realize that the line between self and other is not as clear as you once believed. The microbes are not guests. They are you. They shape your digestion, your immunity, your mood. They shape your very sense of self. To understand yourself fully, you must understand them. And so, as you drift toward sleep, you accept the invitation of this hidden world. You are not a single being. You are a chorus, a forest, a planet of life. You are an ecosystem walking upright, thinking, dreaming, breathing. And to know yourself is to meet your microbial self. You are lying still, your body heavy with rest, your mind open to the soft rhythm of thought. You remember the forest within you, the hidden world of microbes that live as your companions. They are many, countless, beyond the imagination of numbers. But tonight, you begin to understand something deeper. They are not merely guests. They are not only neighbors living in your body. They are an organ as real and as vital as your heart, your lungs, or your brain. And to see them this way is to glimpse a new truth about yourself. When you think of organs, you picture what you have seen in diagrams or books. The red muscle of the heart, the spongy tissue of the lungs, the intricate folds of the brain. Each has weight, form, and a name. Each has a place in the body. But the microbiome defies these rules. It has no clear edges, no single shape, no fixed color or boundary. It is spread across your gut, your skin, your mouth, your lungs. It is a scattered organ, one that does not sit in a single cavity but flows through you like mist through a forest. And yet, in its influence, it is as powerful as any other organ. Pause and let this thought settle. If you weighed the microbes in your body, their total mass would be close to that of your brain. Imagine holding that weight in your hands, not in a jar, not in separation, but as a living, breathing community. This invisible organ is heavy enough to be real, light enough to be unnoticed, and indispensable enough that without it, life would unravel. Consider your digestion. You eat an apple, crisp and sweet, the fibers tough and unyielding. Your body alone cannot break those fibers fully. They would pass through you, wasted, if not for the microbes waiting in your intestines. They feast on what you cannot, transforming fibers into short-chain fatty acids, tiny molecules that calm inflammation, feed your cells, and even protect you from disease. Without your microbes, your food would not be nourishment. It would be fuel half burned, energy half lost. Now consider your immunity. From the moment you were born, your immune system has been learning, but it did not learn alone. Microbes taught it. They showed your body which visitors were friends and which were threats. They whispered lessons about tolerance and defense. Without them, your immune system would be blind, attacking everything or nothing. With them, it is balanced, sharp yet gentle, ready to protect without destroying. And then, consider your mind. It may feel strange to think that microbes, so small and unseen, could touch your thoughts. Yet they do, through the gut-brain axis, a highway of nerves, hormones, and chemical signals. Some microbes release molecules that calm your nervous system. Others help produce neurotransmitters like serotonin, which lifts mood. Still others influence how well you sleep, how you handle stress, how you dream. The invisible organ is not separate from your mind. It is one of its voices. Let yourself imagine this invisible organ as a choir. Each microbe is a singer, small and delicate, but together they create harmony. Some sing loudly, digesting food with force. Some sing softly, shaping mood in whispers. Some keep rhythm, teaching the immune system when to strike and when to rest. Alone, each voice is fragile. Together, they are a symphony that sustains you. There is humility in this thought. You are not the lone author of your life. You are a collaboration, a partnership between human cells and microbial ones. To ignore this hidden organ is to misunderstand yourself. To honor it is to live in balance. Breathe deeply now. Feel your stomach rise and fall. Inside, colonies of microbes are at work, unseen and tireless. They do not sleep when you sleep. They do not rest when you rest. They ferment, transform, signal, protect. They are always present, always participating. Their lives are measured in hours, days at most. Yet generation after generation, they endure within you. A lineage of allies passed down through humanity's history. Think of them as gardeners. They tend your inner soil, pulling weeds, planting seeds, recycling waste. Without them, your inner garden would collapse. Pathogens would take root, inflammation would spread, nutrients would vanish. But with them, balance is maintained. The garden flourishes, and so do you. The microbiome is sometimes called your second genome, for its diversity of genes outnumbers your own by hundreds of times. It is a library of possibilities, a collection of tools your body can borrow. When your own genes are not enough to digest a new food, your microbes step in. When your immunity is uncertain, your microbes offer guidance. They are not foreign. They are extensions of you, the part of your body that adapts quickly, flexibly, in ways your slower human DNA cannot. There is beauty in this cooperation. Imagine two dancers, one human, one microbial, stepping together across the stage of your life. You provide the space, the shelter, the food. They provide the chemistry, the balance, the unseen labor. Neither could dance alone. Together, the performance becomes whole. And yet, like any organ, the microbiome can falter. When diversity is lost, when balance breaks, when harmful species overgrow, the harmony turns to discord. Diseases rise, moods falter, immunity weakens. This is why the invisible organ matters, because its health is tied to yours. Inseparable, unavoidable, undeniable. Lie back, and let the realization wash over you. Your body is not just a vessel of flesh and bone. It is a living partnership, a collective intelligence, a superorganism. The invisible organ within you is as vital as your heart, though it beats without sound, as vital as your lungs, though it breathes without air, as vital as your brain, though it thinks without words. You begin to see yourself differently. You are not simply a single being. You are a community, a host, an ecosystem. And in this recognition, there is comfort. For you are never alone. You are always carried by the work of trillions, always supported by their balance, always guided by their song. You are lying still now, your mind resting gently against the pillow of thought. When a question drifts through you, if the invisible organ inside you is so vast, so essential, when did it begin? When were the first seeds planted in the forest within? To find the answer, you must drift backward in memory, not your own memory, but the body's memory, back to the very beginning of your life, to the moment you first entered the world. Imagine yourself before birth. In the warm darkness of the womb, you are nearly sterile, protected, floating, untouched by the swarms of microbes that fill the outside world. Your lungs are filled not with air, but with fluid. Your skin has never met dust. Your mouth has never tasted food. You are safe, but you are not yet complete. For your body is waiting for its first companions, waiting to be seeded with the microbes that will teach, feed, and guide you for the rest of your life. Then comes the moment of birth, the crossing from one world into another. It is not just a passage for you. It is a passage for trillions of microbes. As you move through your mother's body, you are coated, kissed, embraced by her microbes. They cling to your skin, fill your mouth, seep into your lungs. They become the first settlers in the new land of you. These microbes are not strangers. They are an inheritance, passed from mother to child, generation to generation. They are your first teachers. Pause and feel the tenderness of this truth. Your mother did not only give you her body, her warmth, her breath. She gave you her microbes. They are her gift to you, a living legacy. The bacteria that once lived in her gut, on her skin, in her mouth, now find a home in you. The forest within is seeded not from nowhere, but from family, from lineage, from love. And if you were born another way, by cesarean, by operation, you were still greeted. Microbes from the skin, from the air, from the touch of hands found you, claimed you, settled in. Different seeds, but still seeds. For life is generous, and the microbial world is abundant. However you came into it, you did not come alone. Imagine now the first days of your life. Your mother holds you to her chest. You nurse at her breast, and with the milk comes more than food. Her milk is not just calories, not just protein and fat. It carries sugars you cannot digest, sugars made only to feed microbes. These special molecules, called oligosaccharides, pass through your stomach untouched by you, but welcomed by the bacteria in your gut. They eat, they multiply, they grow strong. Your mother is feeding them as much as she is feeding you. She is not nourishing one life, but two, the human child and the microbial forest that must grow within it. Breast milk also carries living bacteria, secreted from her body to yours. With every sip, more seeds are planted. This is how your invisible organ takes root, not in a rush, not in an instant, but in steady waves, day after day, feeding and seeding, seeding and feeding. And as the weeks turn into months, the diversity grows. You crawl, you explore, you put fingers in your mouth, you taste, the dust of the world. Each contact adds new settlers to your forest. Soil microbes, skin microbes, food microbes, all join the chorus. By your first birthday, your microbiome is no longer sparse. It is a thriving community, dense and diverse, already shaping your digestion, your immunity, your moods. There is wonder in this process. It means that from your first breath, you were never truly alone. You carried a chorus with you, an invisible crowd that would grow as you grew. You are not just you. You are the sum of countless encounters, countless seeds planted in the garden of your body. And though microbes are small, their lessons are vast. They teach your immune system tolerance, so it does not mistake friend for foe. They teach your gut how to absorb nutrients. They send signals to your brain, shaping the patterns of sleep and alertness. Even in your earliest days, before you had words, before you had memory, your microbes were already teaching you how to live. Now imagine the child you once were lying asleep. Small chest rising and falling, body warm and soft. Inside, the microbiome hums, busy with work. It is digesting milk, training immune cells, building barriers against infection. You do not know this, but you are safe because of them. Your body is not a fortress defending against invasion. It is a forest growing from seeds, a community building itself from the ground up. The story continues as you begin to eat solid food. Each bite of fruit, each spoon of vegetables, each crumb of bread feeds not only you but your microbes. Fibers, starches, proteins, all become nourishment. Your invisible organ changes shape, adapting to new diets. It becomes more complex, more resilient. By the time you are a toddler, your microbiome resembles that of an adult, already bearing the hallmarks of the foods you eat, the air you breathe, the places you live. And though microbes are everywhere, the earliest ones hold a special place. They are pioneers, the first trees in the forest, the roots from which diversity grows. They shape the soil of your body in ways that last for years. This is why the first years of life matter so deeply. They are the time when the seeds are planted, when the forest within is given its direction. Breathe and let this thought comfort you. You are not a blank slate. You never were. From your first moment, you were shared, connected, carried by lives larger than yourself. You were a collaboration before you were a memory. You were a forest before you were an individual. And as you grow older, the seeds planted at birth continue to matter. They influence how you respond to foods, how you resist illness, how you recover from stress. They are not the whole of you, but they are the foundation. Without them, the rest would falter. With them, the rest can flourish. Now imagine yourself as you are today, lying in the stillness of night. Inside you are echoes of those earliest seeds, lineages of microbes still living in your gut, descendants of the first bacteria that touched your skin, the first that drank with your milk, the first that whispered to your immune cells. They are with you still, part of you still, singing still. There is tenderness in this truth. Your microbiome is not an accident, not a random collection. It is a story of birth, of inheritance, of family, of place. It is the story of you, written in microbial ink, carried in microbial breath. To honor it is to honor your beginnings. You are lying still, breath slow and even, your body heavy in rest, when a new image stirs in your mind. You begin to hear something faint, not with your ears, but with your imagination. The sound of music, distant at first, then clearer, resonant. It is not the music of instruments you know, not strings or drums, but something deeper, more mysterious. It is the symphony inside you, played not by musicians but by microbes, resonating from the center of your being, your gut. Close your eyes and picture it. Your intestines, long and coiled, become a grand concert hall, vast and alive. The lining of your gut is the stage, stretching endlessly. The microbes are musicians, trillions of them, each with its own instrument, each with its own rhythm. Some play loudly, breaking down fibers into energy. Some play softly, fermenting sugars into warmth. Some keep time, signaling your immune system when to strike and when to stay at rest. Together, they create a harmony that sustains you, a music that never stops, a performance older than humanity itself. Every meal you eat is like a score of music handed to this orchestra. An apple, crisp and sweet, is a bright melody filled with fiber that becomes fuel for certain bacterial players. Bread, warm and soft, brings starches that call forth another section of the orchestra. Vegetables, rich in complex fibers, inspire deeper harmonies, nourishing the slow and steady players that keep your gut lining strong. Each food is not only nourishment for you, but a request for music, a note written into the invisible symphony, and the music is never silent. Even as you rest, even as you sleep, the orchestra continues. Fibers ferment, short-chain fatty acids are born. Vitamins are produced, carried gently into your bloodstream, feeding cells across your body. Molecules like butyrate calm inflammation, heal your gut lining, and soothe your immune system. The invisible organ within you plays softly, constantly, keeping the rhythm of life steady. Pause for a moment and feel your breath. As your chest rises and falls, your gut hums beneath, alive with activity. It is not quiet inside you, though you cannot hear it. It is buzzing, fermenting, signaling, resonating. This is the true heartbeat of digestion, not your stomach churning or your intestines moving, but the microbial symphony that interprets food into life. Imagine yourself walking deeper into this symphony hall. You see groups of microbes like sections of an orchestra. To your left are the firmicutes, breaking down fibers, releasing energy, playing the low, steady notes of digestion. To your right are the bacteroidetes, cutting complex molecules into smaller parts, keeping the melody sharp and agile. Fungi add background tones, weaving threads through the performance. Viruses move silently between players, keeping balance, preventing overgrowth. Each one has its part, and though the instruments are invisible, the harmony is real. There is no conductor at the front, no single leader. The music arises from balance, from community, from the way trillions of individuals interact. It is self-organizing, self-sustaining, and yet, like all orchestras, sensitive to disruption. Feed it poorly, and the music falters. Starve it of diversity, and certain sections grow too loud, drowning out others. But when fed with care, when nourished with variety, the symphony swells with richness, a sound that carries health into every corner of your body. Think of how this music shapes you beyond digestion. Molecules produced in the gut travel through your blood to your brain. They influence mood, quieting anxiety, lifting sadness, sharpening thought. Others speak to your immune system, calming its storms, preventing it from attacking your own tissues. Still, others affect metabolism, balancing how you store and burn energy. The symphony in your gut is not confined to the gut. It echoes throughout you, its melodies woven into every system, every organ. every cell. Breathe gently and let the thought soothe you. You are a listener and a participant in this symphony. You do not need to control it consciously. It plays whether you think of it or not. It plays as you dream, as you work, as you wander. You are carried by its harmonies, lifted by its rhythms, supported by its invisible music. Yet, as with any symphony, the quality of the performance depends on the care given to the musicians. If your diet lacks diversity, the orchestra loses players. If antibiotics sweep through, sections of the symphony fall silent. If stress tightens your body, the tempo falters, rhythms grow erratic. Balance can be lost, and when it is, illness follows. Inflammation rises, digestion weakens, moods darken. The invisible music turns dissonant. But the beauty of this symphony is its resilience. Just as a forest regrows after fire, the microbiome can heal after disruption. With nourishment, with time, with patience, the orchestra retunes itself. Probiotics can add new players. Prebiotics, fibers that feed microbes, can strengthen the sections already present. Fermented foods bring their own songs, joining the chorus. The gut is forgiving, always ready to play again if given the chance. Imagine sitting in that great concert hall now. The lights are low, the musicians are many, and the air hums with energy. You feel not like an outsider, but like part of the music itself. For in truth, you are. Your body provides the stage, your diet provides the score, your life provides the tempo. The microbes perform, but they perform for you and with you. This is your symphony, and as you lie there, you realize something profound. The symphony in your gut is not only about survival, it is about connection. The microbes are ancient, passed from parent to child, shaped by culture, by place, by food traditions. When you eat what your ancestors ate, you feed the microbes they once carried. When you share a meal with others, you align your symphonies. When you care for your gut, you honor the lineage of life that began long before you. Let this truth cradle you. You are not silent inside. You are not alone inside. You are filled with music, ancient and modern, microbial and human, woven into one. The gut is not only an organ of digestion, it is an organ of song. To listen is to know yourself more deeply. To feed it well is to tune your life into harmony. You are lying still, the room hushed, your breath slow and steady. The symphony of your gut still hums softly inside you, digestion's music carrying its rhythm into the night. But if you listen closely, not with ears, but with imagination, you begin to hear something else. A whisper, faint, hidden, traveling not through the air but through your nerves, your blood, your chemistry. These are messages in the dark, carried from the forest of your gut to the vast sky of your mind. Tonight, you drift into that hidden conversation, the dialogue between microbes and thought. Imagine your gut as a chamber filled not only with digestion, but with communication. Every moment your microbes release signals, short-chain fatty acids, neurotransmitters, immune messengers. Some drift into your bloodstream, traveling upward to the brain. Others travel along the great highway of nerves, especially the vagus nerve, a long, winding thread that connects the gut to the brainstem like a direct phone line. Every sigh, every flutter, every note of microbial activity can travel this line. The brain listens, even when you are unaware. Breathe gently. Feel your belly rise and fall. Inside, molecules are already moving, already sending signals upward. Some tell your brain to relax. Some tell it to be alert. Some soothe your emotions, some sharpen your memory, some prepare you for sleep. Your microbes are not separate from your mind. They are one of its voices. Picture this connection as a night sky filled with constellations of light. The gut is the earth below, glowing with microbial life. The brain is the heavens above, vast and shimmering. Between them, threads of light stretched and weave, carrying messages silently. They are too quiet for words, too subtle for thought, yet they shape everything you feel. Serotonin, the neurotransmitter often called the happiness chemical, is produced mostly in the gut. Microbes help regulate its flow, influencing mood, calm, and satisfaction. Gamma-monobiotric acid, or GABA, a messenger of relaxation, is also shaped by microbial hands. Even dopamine, tied to reward and motivation, can be influenced by the activity of microbes. It is as if the symphony of the gut sends notes upward, blending into the symphony of the mind. There is tenderness in this connection. When you feel anxious, when your thoughts spin, your gut often responds, tight, uneasy, fluttering. This is the brain speaking to the gut. But the reverse is also true. When your gut is out of balance, when microbes are weakened by stress or diet, signals rise upward that stir your emotions, cloud your clarity, trouble your sleep. It is not weakness. It is not your fault. It is communication. It is the duet of the gut-brain axis. Imagine now sitting in a quiet room, candlelight flickering. A letter arrives, not on paper, but carried by molecules in blood, by impulses in nerves. Your brain reads it without knowing. It adjusts, recalibrates, responds. These messages in the dark-shaped mood shape thought, shape the way you experience the world. This is why scientists call the gut the second brain. It contains millions of neurons, networks of communication almost as complex as the spinal cord. It can sense, respond, and even act independently. And your microbes are woven into this system, partners in its constant dialogue. The invisible organ does not stop at digestion. It reaches into the fabric of your mind. Pause here and let yourself feel comforted. Your emotions are not random storms. They are part of a larger weather system, shaped by both brain and gut, by both human cells and microbial allies. When you feel calm after a nourishing meal, it is not only chemistry, it is conversation. When you feel restless after imbalance, it is not weakness, it is a message. To listen is to understand. Now picture the gut-brain axis as a dark forest path at night, fireflies lighting the way. Each firefly is a signal, small but luminous, traveling upward. Together, they form a trail of light leading into the brain's canopy. The brain, in turn, sends its own fireflies back down. Stress hormones, nerve impulses, instructions. The path is not one way, but two-way. You are not a machine, but a conversation, an ongoing dialogue carried within. And this dialogue reaches into your sleep. Some microbial signals encourage melatonin, the hormone of night, to rise. They prepare your body for rest, quieting your systems, dimming your inner lights. When balance falters, sleep can falter too. The restless nights, the anxious dreams, the sudden wakefulness, they are echoes of imbalance in the forest of your gut. To tend that forest is to tend your dreams. Think also of memory. Research shows that microbial signals can shape how your brain encodes and recalls. The clarity of thought, the softness of reflection, even the ability to focus, all are touched by these silent messengers. The gut is not only the seat of digestion, but a library of influence. Shelves lined with molecules that guide the stories your brain will write. And yet, despite their influence, microbes are not tyrants. They are partners. They do not control your thoughts, but they nudge, they whisper, they suggest. They are part of the council that is you, brain, heart, body, microbiome, all speaking, all listening, all shaping the story of self. Breathe again. Feel the air enter, feel it leave. Know that even now, as you rest, this conversation continues. Signals travel silently, messages are read and answered, the duet plays on. You are not separate parts, but one whole, one being sustained by countless voices. Let yourself imagine, for a moment, what happens when balance is broken. When the microbiome loses diversity, when inflammation rises, the messages turn troubled. They may amplify anxiety, deepen sadness, cloud thought. But this too is communication. The body is asking for repair, for nourishment, for care. And when balance returns, through food, through rest, through kindness to yourself, the messages soften again. Calm returns. Harmony is restored. The gut and the brain are two instruments in the same symphony, connected by invisible strings. To play well, both must listen. To live well, both must be nourished. You are the listener, the participant, the home where this music unfolds. As you drift now towards sleep, think of your microbes not as strangers, not as silent, but as friends writing letters in the dark. They remind your brain of balance. They encourage your heart toward calm. They guide your dreams toward peace. You are held in this dialogue, always, without needing to try. You are resting quietly now, your breath slow, your body safe within the embrace of night. You remember the whispers of the gut, the secret letters traveling upward to your mind. But tonight, you turn toward another conversation, one that happens not in dreams, but in defense, not in thoughts, but in shields. Your immune system, that silent guardian, is never alone in its watch. It has teachers, guides, and companions, and those teachers are your microbes. Imagine your immune system as a vast garden wall stretching around the forest of your body. On one side lies you, your cells, your tissues, your life. On the other side lies the world, filled with countless organisms, some gentle, some harmful, some indifferent. The wall must protect, but not too fiercely. If it attacks every visitor, it wastes its strength. If it welcomes every guest, it risks collapse. Balance is needed, and balance comes from the invisible organ within you, from the earliest days of life. Your microbes have been training your immune system. Like wise elders, they teach it who to trust and who to resist. They present fragments of themselves, gentle introductions, so that your immune cells learn tolerance. They whisper warnings when invaders arrive, sharpening your defenses. They are not passive passengers in your body. They are guardians of the guardians, shaping the way your defenses see the world. Pause and breathe. Think of a baby lying in its mother's arms, skin soft, eyes closed, body new. Even now, microbes are entering the child, seeding the gut, guiding the immune system. They are teaching tolerance. Do not attack the food. Do not attack the self. They are teaching vigilance. Be ready for the virus. Be ready for the pathogen. Without them, the immune system would be blind, uncertain, easily confused. With them, it is sharp and wise. Picture your gut as a great training ground. Immune cells patrol its lining, meeting microbes every moment. Some microbes extend molecules like hands, offering lessons. Some provide challenges, teaching practice. The immune cells respond, learning to distinguish between harmless and harmful, between ally and enemy. It is a school, an academy hidden within your body, where trillions of teachers shape the destiny of your defenses. Think of the balance they maintain. If the immune system grows too aggressive, it can harm you, mistaking your own tissues for invaders. This is autoimmunity, when the guardians turn against their home. If the immune system grows too weak, it cannot protect, and infections flourish. The microbiome helps hold the middle ground. By providing constant, gentle stimulation, it keeps your defenses alert, but not frantic, sharp, but not reckless. Imagine now the skin, your outermost barrier. Here too, microbes live, a shield upon a shield. Friendly bacteria on your skin produce molecules that repel invaders. They occupy space, preventing harmful species from taking root. They are sentries on the wall, vigilant and tireless. Without them, your skin would be exposed. With them, it is alive, protected, resilient, even in your lungs. Microbes live in small numbers, shaping the immune tone of your airways. Even in your mouth, they create balance, preventing harmful bacteria from overtaking. Everywhere the invisible organ extends, it works in partnership with immunity, weaving protection into your very being. Breathe gently. Feel your chest rise and fall. Know that every breath you take carries particles, microbes, fragments of the world. Your immune system meets them all, deciding with the help of your microbiome what to embrace and what to resist. This constant negotiation happens without your awareness, but always for your survival. And when imbalance comes, when antibiotics sweep away diversity, when stress disrupts harmony, the guardians can falter. Allergies may rise, the immune system overreacting to harmless pollen or food. Autoimmune conditions may appear, the immune system mistaking friend for foe. Infections may strike, the defenses caught unprepared. The music of the guardians depends on the orchestra of microbes. Without balance, the song becomes discord, but hope remains, for the microbiome is resilient. Feed it fibers, and new teachers arise. Invite diversity, and the training ground fills again. Probiotics can reintroduce gentle guides. Prebiotics can nourish those already present. With time, the guardians retune themselves. Balance restored, harmony regained. Imagine now your immune system as a circle of glowing sentinels, standing at the edges of your body. Behind them, your microbes move like a forest, whispering advice, offering signals, calming or alerting as needed. Together, they form a partnership, guardians guarding one another, protectors protecting each other. You are safe not because of one alone, but because of their alliance. And as you rest tonight, you can feel gratitude for this hidden shield. Every cut that heals, every infection you overcome, every day you live in balance, all are gifts of this partnership. You are not defended by isolation, but by cooperation. You are not a single warrior, but a community of guardians. You are resting quietly, breath steady, body soft against the silence of night. You remember the guardians your microbes have trained, the immune system balanced, the shield strong. But as you drift deeper into this calm, another question rises gently. What do the guardians themselves eat? What sustains the invisible organ within you? Tonight, you will walk through the garden of food. and see how every bite is not just for you, but also for the forest inside. Imagine yourself at a long wooden table in the middle of a meadow. Before you are bowls of fruits, grains, vegetables, seeds, and herbs. Each dish glows with its own color: emerald greens, ruby reds, golden yellows, deep violets. You reach for one and realize you are not eating alone. Trillions of tiny companions are waiting, unseen but eager. Each bite you take a gift to them. For every meal you eat, they eat too. Your body absorbs proteins, fats, sugars, the nutrients you can digest with your own enzymes. But not everything is yours to claim. Some fibers pass through your stomach untouched. Some complex carbohydrates remain whole as they drift into the gut. These are for your microbes. They are their feast, their harvest, their music. Picture the fibers as logs on a fire. You cannot burn them alone, but your microbes split them into sparks of energy. Short-chain fatty acids are born: butyrate, acetate. They nourish your gut lining, soothe your immune system, and ripple outward to your brain, calming mood and shaping sleep. This is how food becomes song. You eat, they play, and together you live. Pause and let this settle. Food is not just fuel for you. It is an invitation for diversity. Each plant, each fiber, each grain feeds different players in the orchestra. When you eat only one thing, only one section grows strong. The music becomes thin. When you eat many things, variety blooms. The symphony swells with richness. Diversity of food creates diversity of life inside you. Think of the forest again. A forest of only one tree is fragile, vulnerable to storms. A forest of many trees, oak, pine, birch, willow, is resilient, strong, alive with harmony. So too with your microbiome. A diet filled with many colors, many textures, many plants builds resilience. Your inner forest thrives not on uniformity but on variety. Imagine yourself eating berries, their skins rich with polyphenols, dark pigments. Your microbes adore. They transform them into antioxidants, gifts back to you, protecting your cells from damage. Imagine whole grains, oats, barley, brown rice, carrying fibers that microbes ferment slowly, releasing steady rhythms of nourishment. Imagine beans and lentils, rich with resistant starch, feeding microbes that calm inflammation and strengthen the gut barrier. Each food is not an end but a beginning, not just a meal but a conversation. And then, imagine fermented foods: yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, miso. These are not just nourishment, but living communities, new musicians joining the orchestra. When you eat them, you invite travelers into your forest, strengthening its diversity, adding new songs. They do not all stay, but their presence refreshes, reshapes the music. There is comfort in this truth. Every time you eat, you are not only feeding yourself, you are feeding the invisible organ within. You are choosing harmony or discord, resilience or fragility. And when you choose variety, when you choose plants, when you choose whole foods, you nourish not just your own body, but the trillions of lives that sustain it. Think too of what harms. Processed foods, stripped of fiber, rich in sugar and additives, feed only a few microbes, letting them overgrow, silencing others. Antibiotics, though life-saving, sweep away entire sections of the orchestra, leaving silence where there was once song. Stress, poor sleep, monotony, all dampen diversity, weaken the forest. The music falters. But just as a garden recovers with water and care, so too does the microbiome. The invisible organ is forgiving. With time, with nourishment, with variety, the music plays again. Pause and breathe. Feel the connection between your mouth and your gut, between your choices and your symphony. You are not powerless. You are the caretaker of your inner forest. Every bite is a seed, every meal a planting, every plate a chance to grow harmony within. Now imagine walking through a vibrant marketplace at dawn. Stalls overflow with fruits and vegetables, grains and herbs. You wander slowly, choosing colors, shapes, scents. With each choice, you are not only feeding your hunger, but selecting instruments for your inner orchestra. Tomatoes add violins, leafy greens add flutes, nuts add drums, beans add cellos, fermented foods add choirs. You return home, and as you eat, you feel the symphony swelling inside, filling your body with balance and music. The wisdom is simple but profound. Diversity in diet creates diversity in life. And diversity in life creates resilience, strength, and peace. You are not alone in your meals. You are never eating only for one. You are always feeding two. The human body you see and the microbial organ you cannot. And as you drift now towards sleep, you can feel gratitude for this partnership. You are supported not by will alone, but by community, nourished not only by food, but by harmony. You are a forest within, and every bite is sunlight for the trees, water for the roots, music for the symphony. You are lying still, your breath slow, your body heavy with rest. When the thought arrives softly, not all nights are calm, not all days are easy. Just as forests weather storms, oceans churn with tempests, and skies darken with thunder, so too does the hidden organ within you face disruption. Balance can break. The invisible symphony can falter. Tonight, you drift into the storms of your microbiome, not to fear them, but to understand them, and to see how healing follows even after the fiercest winds. Imagine the inner forest you have been walking through, lush, diverse, filled with microbial trees and meadows, each one alive with song. Now imagine clouds rolling in, the light dims, the balance trembles, a storm approaches. For microbes, storms can come in many forms: the sweep of antibiotics, the monotony of processed foods, the restless winds of stress, the lightning strikes of infection. Each one changes the terrain, shifts the balance, leaves scars on the forest floor. Consider antibiotics first. They are powerful tools, medicines that save lives by clearing away harmful bacteria. But antibiotics are not precise gardeners. They do not distinguish between weeds and wildflowers, between invaders and allies. When they pass through your body, they sweep away diversity. Whole sections of the orchestra fall silent. Harmful microbes are defeated, yes, but friendly ones vanish too. The forest thins, the music falters, and when the storm ends, the soil is bare, vulnerable to new invasions, fragile until diversity returns. Now think of processed foods, soft, quick, rich in sugars and stripped of fibers. They feed only a narrow group of microbes. These grow loud, insistent, overbearing. Other voices weaken, silenced by lack of nourishment. Slowly, the music of diversity turns into a monotone. The gut lining loses its calm. Inflammation stirs. The balance is not broken in a flash, but eroded slowly. Like a coastline crumbling under constant waves, stress too is a storm. When your body feels threatened, whether by real danger or by thoughts alone, hormones rise, signals shift, and the gut feels the change. The walls tighten, movement falters, microbes sense the unrest. Some decrease in number, some grow louder. The immune system stirs uneasily, listening to troubled whispers. Prolonged stress is like endless rain, washing away stability, leaving the soil soggy and the roots weak. And then there are infections, sudden, sharp storms. A pathogen enters, multiplies, competes with the resident microbes. The guardians rush to defend. Inflammation rises like fire through the forest. The balance strains, sometimes collapsing into chaos until the storm passes. Recovery comes, but the forest may not be the same. Pause and breathe. These storms are not your fault. They are part of life. Just as forests must weather lightning, just as oceans must endure waves, your microbiome must face disruptions. But like nature, it holds resilience. It can recover, regrow, retune its symphony. Balance may break, but healing is always possible. Imagine now the forest after a storm. The ground is scarred, some trees are gone, but seeds remain, hidden in soil. Rain falls gently again, sun returns, and life begins to grow back. So too in your microbiome. Even after antibiotics, even after stress, even after imbalance, diversity can return. New foods act like sunlight. Fibers become water for the roots. Fermented foods plant new seeds. Time itself allows the orchestra to find its rhythm again. And in this recovery, there is wisdom. You learn that balance is not a static thing, not a permanent state. It is a dance, a movement, a rhythm that shifts with seasons, with choices, with circumstances. Sometimes the music is strong and full. Sometimes it falters, but always it can return. Think of how your own moods mirror this. There are days of harmony, when thought flows easily, when rest feels deep, when the body hums with calm. And there are days of discord, when stress rises, when digestion feels uneasy, when sleep is restless. These are storms too, felt not only by you, but by your microbes. And just as you weather them with patience, they weather them too, waiting for calm to return. Imagine sitting at the edge of an ocean at night, waves crashing with force, winds howling. You do not stop the storm. You simply wait, wrapped in patience, knowing that morning will bring calm seas again. This is how your microbes endure. They bend, they adapt, they survive. They teach you resilience, the ability to break and return, to stumble and stand again, breathe gently and feel comforted. Storms are not endings. They are passages. They shake the forest, but they also open space for renewal. After antibiotics, new species can flourish. After stress, balance can be restored with rest. After poor diet, diversity can return with care. You are not fragile glass. You are living soil. The storms do not destroy you. They shape you. The hidden organ within you knows this truth. It does not seek perfection. It seeks resilience. And resilience is built not by avoiding storms, but by recovering from them. Each disruption, each imbalance, is a chance to regrow stronger, more diverse, more harmonious. Let yourself rest in this understanding. You need not fear the storms in your system. You need only trust in recovery, in nourishment, in patience. The invisible organ is forgiving. It waits for you to care. And when you do, it responds with music once more. You are lying still, the night calm around you, your breath slow and soft. You have traveled through storms in your system and watched the forest of your microbiome bend and heal. But now, a new curiosity arises. Is the invisible organ only in your gut, or does it extend further into forgotten pathways, into hidden corners of your body? Tonight, you will wander gently through those landscapes and discover that the microbial symphony plays. Everywhere, imagine your skin first. The vastest surface of your body, stretched like a continent beneath the sky. To the naked eye, it is smooth, warm, familiar. But step closer in your imagination, closer until the ridges of fingerprints become mountain ranges, the pores become valleys, and the hairs become forests. Here, on this living continent, microbes dwell by the billions. They are adapted to every terrain. Dry deserts of your forearms, moist jungles of your armpits, salty shores of your forehead. Each patch of skin is its own habitat, its own ecosystem, its own village of microbial life. These microbes are guardians, protectors, neighbors. Some produce molecules that keep harmful invaders away, like gentle warriors guarding the walls of a city. Some train your skin's immune cells, teaching tolerance, preventing unnecessary alarm. Others compete with potential pathogens, taking up space so that no enemy can enter. Your skin is not bare. It is alive, wrapped in an invisible cloak of protection woven by microbes. Pause here and breathe. Feel your skin against the air, against the sheets. You are touching the world, but you are never touching it alone. Your microbes are always the first to greet, the first to defend, the first to respond. You are clothed not only in fabric but in life. Now wander inward to your mouth. At first, you think only of teeth and tongue, of taste and speech. But beneath the surface is another bustling community. The mouth is warm, moist, fed daily with food, and filled with countless niches. The crevices between teeth, the grooves of the tongue, the smoothness of the cheeks. Here microbes gather in layers, forming biofilms, working together in delicate balance. When balance holds, this community protects you, breaking down food, guarding against invaders, shaping the flavors you sense. But when balance breaks, when sugars dominate, when brushing falters, harmful species grow too loud. Cavities form, gums inflame, the orchestra stumbles. Yet even then, resilience exists. With care, with nourishment, the balance can return. The forgotten symphony of the mouth retuning itself once more. Breathe again and feel the moist air in your throat, the gentle presence of life. You are not silent inside. You are filled with voices, some near, some far, all working, all singing in the hidden choir. Now drift to your lungs. For centuries, people thought lungs were sterile, pristine, untouched by microbes. But science whispers otherwise. Even here, in the airy halls of breath, microbes live. They are few compared to the gut, but they matter. They shape the tone of your immunity, keeping inflammation calm, preventing overreaction. When balance holds, your lungs are clear and resilient. When balance falters, storms like asthma or infection can rise. The forgotten pathway of the lungs is not empty. It is alive with quiet guardians. And what of the urogenital tract? Another hidden pathway, often overlooked. In women, lactobacilli dominate, producing lactic acid that keeps the environment safe, preventing invaders from taking hold. They are guardians of balance, protectors of health, unseen but essential. Even here, the invisible organ extends, its reach wide, its influence profound. Think of how vast this makes you. The gut is not your only ecosystem. You are a planet of many landscapes, forests of the intestines, deserts and jungles of the skin, rivers of the mouth, skies of the lungs. Each terrain has its own orchestra, its own players, its own balance, and yet all are part of the same invisible organ, connected through immunity, through chemistry, through you. Pause now and let this vision settle. You are not a single system but many, not one community but countless. The forgotten pathways remind you that life is everywhere, even where you once imagined emptiness. You are more than human. You are habitat, ecosystem, superorganism, and there is tenderness in this truth. It means you are never truly alone, not even in the smallest corner of yourself. Each surface, each passage, each hidden fold is alive with presence, filled with companions that guard, nourish, and balance. You are vast in ways you cannot see, intimate in ways you cannot feel, alive in ways you cannot count. Think of how these pathways interact. A shift in the gut can influence the lungs, the gut-lung axis, where microbial whispers cross from digestion to breath. A change in the mouth can affect the heart, bacteria traveling into blood, shaping inflammation far away. Each pathway is not isolated but connected, threads of life woven into a single fabric. To tend one is to tend all. To harm one is to harm the whole. And so you begin to see yourself differently. Not as a body contained by skin, but as an ecosystem of ecosystems, a harmony of harmonies. Your microbiome is not one organ, but many organs, scattered yet connected, forgotten yet essential. As you drift now towards sleep, imagine these forgotten pathways glowing softly within you. The skin shimmers with protective light. The mouth hums with balance. The lungs breathe quietly, their microbes calm. The hidden tracks resonate with harmony. You are not alone, not empty, not sterile. You are filled with life everywhere. You are lying still, your breath slow, your mind soft as night deepens around you. You have wandered through forgotten pathways and seen how microbes live not only in your gut but across your skin, your mouth, your lungs. But now a deeper question arrives, like a leaf drifting on a quiet stream. How does this hidden organ change as you change? What happens to the microbial forest as you grow from a newborn to a child, from a young adult to an elder? Tonight, you will walk through the seasons of your microbiome, guided by time's gentle touch. Imagine your life as a year unfolding. Spring is birth and childhood, summer is youth, autumn is maturity, winter is old age. The microbiome flows through each season, shifting with you, never fixed, always adapting. Just as forests change with weather and rivers change with rainfall, your inner ecosystem changes with time. Begin in the spring of life, the earliest days. You are a newborn, and your microbiome is still fragile, still sparse, seeded by your mother and the world around you. Each day brings new arrivals, from milk, from touch, from air, from the soil on a hand that brushes against you. At first, only a few species dominate. They are pioneers, hardy and simple. But as weeks pass, diversity blooms. Milk sugars feed specialized bacteria, strengthening the infant gut, calming the immune system, guiding development. By the first year, your microbiome is dense with life, already resembling the shape it will carry into adulthood. Pause here and breathe. Imagine yourself as that small child, sleeping peacefully, your gut alive with microbial workers. They digest, they protect, they teach. You do not know them, but they know you. They are laying the foundation for your future health, brick by microbial brick, signal by signal, song by song. Now drift into the summer of life, the years of youth and early adulthood. Here the microbiome is at its richest, its most diverse. Diet is varied, activity is high, hormones surge, immune challenges come and go. The forest is full, green, vibrant. This is the time of resilience, when balance holds steady against storms. The invisible organ thrives on variety, adapting quickly to changes in food, in travel, in stress. You feel strong, and much of that strength comes from the harmony of your microbes. But even in summer, there are shifts. Diets heavy in processed foods can reduce diversity. Stress can stir imbalance. Antibiotics can sweep through like sudden storms. Still, the richness of the forest often allows recovery. The summer microbiome is forgiving, flexible, abundant. Then comes the autumn of life, middle age. Here the microbiome begins to reflect the patterns you have built. Years of diet, lifestyle, and environment leave their marks. If you have nourished diversity, it remains strong. If you have starved it of variety, it may grow thinner, weaker, less resilient. Autumn is a season of consolidation. The orchestra has learned its scores. The forest has settled into its form. The balance may still shift, but recovery is slower than in youth. The invisible organ mirrors your own maturity, steady, experienced, but aware of time's weight. Now drift into the winter of life, old age. Here the microbiome changes again. Diversity often declines. Some species vanish, others dominate. The forest thins, the symphony quiets. Immune strength softens, digestion shifts, inflammation sometimes rises. The microbiome reflects this, becoming less stable, more vulnerable, and yet there is wisdom even in this season. The microbes that remain are companions of endurance, survivors who adapt to the elder body. They continue their work, digesting, protecting, signaling, even as the forest changes. Pause and breathe. Think of yourself in later years, sitting in sunlight, body slower, mind gentler. Inside, your microbes still hum. They are fewer, perhaps, but they are faithful. They remind you that you are never truly alone, even in winter. Time's touch is not cruel. It is natural. Just as trees drop leaves in autumn and sprout again in spring, your microbiome follows the rhythms of age. And like a forest, it can be tended at any stage. Elders who eat varied diets, rich in plants and fibers, often preserve diversity. Those who share meals, who live among others, who remain active, often carry stronger microbial symphonies. The forest of age may be quieter, but it can still be vibrant. There is comfort in knowing that your microbiome is not static. It is not fixed at birth, nor doomed in age. It is a living reflection of your choices, your environment, your life. It grows with you, suffers with you, heals with you. It is your partner through every season. Think now of the continuity of life. When a child is born, microbes are passed from parent to child, carrying echoes of ancestry. When you share food, when you live among family, when you breathe the same air, you exchange microbes. Your forest is not only yours, it is linked to others. Generations share roots, communities share branches. The invisible organ is not bound by time alone, but by connection. weaving lives together in unseen ways. As you rest tonight, imagine yourself walking through these seasons. You are a newborn, seeded with life. You are a child, microbiome blooming. You are an adult, microbiome abundant. You are an elder, microbiome quieter but faithful. Each step is natural, each stage a gift. You are not alone at any point. You are always accompanied, always supported by the symphony within. You are lying quietly now, breath steady, your body soft against the weight of night. You have walked through the seasons of your microbiome, from the seeds of birth to the quiet forests of old age. You have seen storms and resilience, harmonies and whispers. But tonight, you drift not backward into memory, nor inward into balance, but forward into the future. For the invisible organ is not only a story of what has been, it is a promise of what could be. And the promise is this: healing with microbes. Imagine the symphony inside you, faltering, a section silenced, a melody lost, a rhythm broken. For much of history, there was little to be done. Medicine looked only at the human side of the partnership, neglecting the microbial. But now, science is listening more closely. Doctors and researchers are learning that to heal you, they must also heal the forest within. They are tuning the symphony, restoring harmony, composing futures where microbes are medicine. Think first of probiotics. These are living microbes given as supplements, as foods, as small reinforcements to the community within. A cup of yogurt, alive with a capsule of bifidobacteria, waiting to take root. They are like guest musicians, stepping onto the stage, playing notes that steady the symphony. Sometimes they stay, sometimes they pass through, but their presence helps, reminding the orchestra of balance. Now think of prebiotics. These are not microbes themselves, but the fibers and molecules that feed them. They are the notes written into the score, the sheet music placed before the players. Oligosaccharides in milk, inulin in chicory root, resistant starch in green bananas. All are invitations, nourishment for the musicians of the gut. Prebiotics do not dictate the music. They encourage it, strengthening the quiet players, helping them sing louder. And then there is something stranger, more powerful: fecal microbiota transplantation, or FMT. It sounds unusual, even unsettling, but its heart is simple. When one person's symphony has fallen silent, when antibiotics or disease have swept it bare, a healthy microbiome can be transplanted from another, like seeds carried from one forest to another. The effect can be immediate: balance restored, infection cleared, resilience returned. It is the purest reminder that microbes are medicine, that healing can come not from chemicals alone, but from life itself. Pause and breathe. Feel the strangeness of this idea. To heal not by eradicating microbes, but by welcoming them. To heal not by fighting, but by restoring balance. This is a different vision of medicine, one rooted in harmony rather than war. Now imagine the future precision microbiome therapies. Scientists are learning to read the symphony in exquisite detail, mapping every note, every player, every whisper of microbial song. With this knowledge, they can compose interventions unique to you. They may design probiotics tailored to your genetics, prebiotics matched to your forest's needs, treatments that adjust not broadly but precisely, restoring your personal harmony. Medicine becomes music, and you become the conductor. Think also of phage therapy, viruses that infect only bacteria, targeted like delicate instruments. Instead of sweeping antibiotics, phages could remove only harmful strains, leaving the rest of the forest untouched. They are scalpels compared to hammers, violins compared to drums, precise and gentle. In this future, the symphony is not silenced, but fine-tuned, and beyond medicine, there is lifestyle. The future of healing is not only in clinics, but in kitchens, in gardens, in the quiet choices of daily life. More fibers, more diversity, more fermented foods. These are seeds you can plant yourself. Time outdoors, soil on your hands, connection with others, these too are seeds, enriching your microbial world. The future is not only technology, it is also remembering the ancient, the simple, the intimate ways microbes have always been part of you. Imagine now a city of the future, where doctors prescribe not just pills but meals rich in plants, where pharmacies offer personalized microbial blends, where parks and gardens are designed not only for beauty but for exposure to microbial diversity. Imagine hospitals where microbiome care is as routine as blood pressure checks, where restoring the hidden organ is central to healing the whole. There is hope in this vision. Diseases that once seemed unyielding, inflammatory bowel disease, depression linked to the gut-brain axis, autoimmune storms may one day be eased by tending the microbiome. The symphony that falters may yet find its rhythm again. Healing may come not only through force, but through harmony. Pause again and let yourself rest in this thought. Healing with microbes is not fantasy. It is already beginning. Probiotics are common, prebiotics are studied. Fecal transplants save lives. Precision therapies are emerging. The invisible organ is stepping into the light of medicine, not as a curiosity but as a partner. The future of health is not only human, it is human and microbial together. And as you drift towards sleep, imagine your own forest renewed. Imagine the symphony in your gut tuning itself, each player restored, each note steady. Imagine living in a future where imbalance is not an ending but a passage, where healing is always possible, where microbes are medicine, music, and friend. You are resting now, your body heavy against the sheets, your eyes soft and closed. Around you, the world is quieting. The hum of the day has faded, the rush of thought slows to a trickle, and you drift into the tender silence of night. But within you, another world awakens. Your microbiome, the hidden organ that has guided you through birth, growth, storms, and healing, does not sleep. While you surrender to dreams, your microbes continue their work, singing softly in the endless present. Tonight, you will listen to that quiet harmony. Imagine your gut first, the great concert hall you visited before. In daylight, it buzzes with activity, digesting meals, fermenting fibers, producing molecules that ripple outward. At night, the hall dims, yet the music does not stop. It changes. The rhythm becomes slower, deeper, more restorative. Microbes shift in their activity, like an orchestra playing a nocturne instead of a symphony. Certain species grow stronger in the dark, feasting on the leftovers of your meals, releasing short-chain fatty acids that soothe inflammation and feed the cells of your intestines. While you rest, they repair. Breathe gently. Feel your stomach soften, your body loosen. Inside, invisible workers sweep the stage, recycle what was left behind, prepare the system for morning. They do not need your awareness. They do not need your effort. Their harmony is constant, quiet, always for you. Now imagine the gut-brain axis in the stillness of night. Messages continue to travel upward, carried by the vagus nerve, carried by chemical whispers in the blood. Some microbes release molecules that encourage melatonin, the hormone of sleep, to flow through you. Others regulate serotonin, shaping your dreams, guiding the smooth passage from wakefulness to rest. They calm the storms of cortisol, the hormone of stress, reminding your brain that night is a time for safety, not for alarm. Without your microbes, sleep would be thinner, more fragile. With them, it deepens. Think also of your immune system. By day, it stands alert, ready to respond. By night, it repairs, it learns, it remembers. Microbes help here too, presenting fragments, training your immunity even as you sleep. The quiet lessons of tolerance and defense continue, weaving resilience into your body. In dreams, your mind consolidates memory. In night silence, your microbes help consolidate immunity. Both processes are hidden, both are essential, both are part of your endless present. Now drift outward to your skin. Even here, microbes hum in harmony through the night. They strengthen barriers, produce molecules that keep invaders at bay, protect the gentle surface of your body while you rest. Imagine them as soft lanterns glowing across your skin, each one standing guard, each one part of your cloak of life. And the lungs too, subtle but steady, filled with quiet breath. The microbes that live here help keep inflammation calm, prevent overreaction, ensure that each breath flows smoothly into your blood. You are not alone in breathing. You are always breathing with them. Pause and let this truth cradle you. Sleep is not abandonment. It is trust. Trust in your body, trust in your microbes, trust in the harmony that continues when your awareness fades. You are not unguarded at night. You are surrounded, carried, sustained by trillions of companions, each one tending the forest, each one keeping the symphony alive. Imagine the microbiome now as a lullaby. The gut hums with low notes of fermentation. The skin glows with high notes of protection. The lungs breathe steady chords. The mouth whispers in balance. Altogether, they create a nocturne, a music you cannot hear but which your body feels, soft as waves against the shore. This is the quiet harmony of sleep, and in this harmony, dreams unfold. Microbes influence not only chemistry but emotion, mood, and rest. Their signals weave into your subconscious, shaping the texture of dreams, guiding the smooth rhythm of cycles. You wander through dream forests, dream oceans, dream skies, while the microbial forests, oceans, and skies within you continue their quiet songs. You are mirrored, inside and out, reflected by both cosmos and cell. There is peace in this thought. You are not alone in sleep. You are not vulnerable in silence. You are part of an orchestra that never stops playing, even when you are unaware. Your microbes are not waiting for you to awaken. They are working with the night, with the rhythms of darkness, with the endless present. Now think of the morning to come. When dawn arrives, when light filters into your eyes, your microbes will shift again. Their nocturne will fade, their daytime symphony will return. They will prepare you for food, for movement, for thought. The cycle will continue, just as it always has, just as it always will. You live not in a straight line of time, but in circles, in rhythms, in seasons within and without. Breathe one last time tonight. Feel the weight of your body. Feel the softness of the sheets. Feel the presence of life within you. Trillions of companions singing you into rest. You are not one, but many. You are not silent, but filled with harmony. You are not drifting alone, but carried in the music of your microbiome. And so, you surrender to sleep, to the quiet harmony that has always been with you, the invisible organ that works while you dream. You enter the endless present, where time dissolves, where microbes hum, where you are safe, whole, and complete.